Today we'll be talking about word order, what it is, why is it important, and trying to figure out the rules of word order. In linguistics, word order, or also known as linear order, is the order of the syntactic constituents of a language. Word order is important. It is what makes your sentences make sense. So proper word order is an essential part of writing and speaking. When we put words in the wrong order, the result is a confusing, unclear, and an incorrect sentence. Here are some examples of words put in the correct and incorrect order. In correct order, we have I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters at home. And the incorrect order would be 2 brothers and 2 sisters have I at home. I am in middle school, which is correct. In middle school I am. It's not correct. How are you today is the correct order, and you are how today is the incorrect order. As you can see, it's usually easy to see whether or not your words are in the correct order. When the words are out of order, they stand out and usually change the meaning of a sentence or make it hard to understand. We are going to find out about types of word order. In English, we follow one main pattern for normal sentences and one main pattern for sentences that ask a question. The standard word order for normal sentences would be subject plus verb plus object, in short known as SVO. Remember, the subject is what the sentence is about, so it comes first. For example, the dog eats popcorn. The subject comes first in a sentence because it makes our meaning clear when writing and speaking. Then the verb comes after the subject and the object comes after the verb. And that's the most common word order. Otherwise, a sentence doesn't make sense, like this. Eats popcorn the dog. Popcorn the dog eats. When asking a question, we follow the order auxiliary verb or modal auxiliary plus subject plus verb, in short known as ASV. Auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliaries share meaning or function, many of which are forms of the verb to be. Auxiliary verbs can change form, but modal auxiliaries don't. Here's a chart to help you. As said, questions follow the form ASV, or if they have an object, ASVO. Here are some examples. Can he cook? Does your dog like popcorn? Are you burning the popcorn? Moving on to parts of word order. While almost every sentence needs to follow the basic SVO word order, we add other words like indirect objects and modifiers to make them more detailed. An indirect object of a sentence shows the recipient of the direct object. It basically tells us whom or what, or for whom what, something is done. When we add an indirect object, a sentence will follow a slightly different order. Indirect objects always come between the verb and the object, following the pattern SVIO, like this. I fed the dog some popcorn. Next up are prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases also have special positions in sentences. When we use the prepositions like to or for, then the indirect object becomes part of prepositional phrase and follows the order SVOP, like this. I fed some popcorn to the dog. Other prepositional phrases determining time and location can go at either the beginning or the end of a sentence. He ate popcorn at the fair, or at the fair he ate popcorn. In the morning I will go home, or I will go home in the morning. Adverbs. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs, adding things like time, manner, degree, and often end in ly, like slowly, recently, nearly, and so on. As a rule, an adverb or any modifier should be as close as possible to the thing it is modifying. But adverbs are special because they can usually be placed in more than one spot in the sentence and are still correct. So there are rules about their placement, but also many exceptions. In general, when modifying an adjective or adverb, an adverb should go before the word it modifies. The dog was extremely hungry is the correct because the adverb modifies hungry. Extremely, the dog was hungry. It's incorrect because the adverb is misplaced. The extremely dog was hungry is also incorrect because the adverb is misplaced. The dog was hungry extremely is also incorrect because the adverb is misplaced. As you can see, the word extremely only makes sense just before the adjective hungry. In this situation, the adverb can only go in one place. When modifying a verb, an adverb should generally go right after the word it modifies. But these other uses are also correct, though they may not be the best. The dog ran quickly to the fair is the best option and it's correct. Quickly the dog ran to the fair. The dog quickly ran to the fair. The dog ran to the fair quickly. For adverbs expressing frequency, how often something happens, the adverb goes directly after the subject. The dog always eats popcorn. He never runs slowly. I rarely see him. Adverbs expressing time when something happens can go at either the beginning or of the end of the sentence, depending what's important about the sentence. If the time isn't very important, then it goes at the beginning of the sentence. But if you want to emphasize the time, then the adverb goes at the end of the sentence. Now the dog wants popcorn. Emphasis on the dog wants popcorn. The dog wants popcorn now. Emphasis on now.
That's all, folks.